What's happening, family? It's Cat Sports again, back for another afternoon with my people. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT. Melanin Queen 27. Tim Layton, hashtag JBT. Rachel Donaire. Salute Rachel Donaire. Welcome to Cass Sports, the Boxtorian. Mike Masick. Salute to everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cat Sports, the Boxtorian. This is the Friday afternoon edition. So how's everybody doing this Friday afternoon? The weekend has arrived. Let's give a big welcome to Rachel Donaire in the building. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Cat Sports, the Boxtorian. If it's Monday through Friday at 2 o'clock, it's the Boxtorian. And that's me, your friendly neighborhood Boxtorian. Today is Profile Day. That's right, it's Friday. And the profile today is Sugar Ray Leonard. This has been Four Kings month, remember? The hitman, Thomas Hearns, was first. Then we had the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. Marvelous Marvin Hagler was last week. And now, last but certainly not least, Sugar Ray Leonard today. I'm Old School Rant in the building. What's up, Old School? How are you today? Good to see you. Hope everybody stick around and enjoy the show today. But we have arrived. It's the big Cinco de Mayo weekend. And you know what's going on tomorrow? Canelo Alvarez against Jaime Munguia. I guess the weigh-in is today. It all happens during my show. So welcome, everybody. I really appreciate everybody rocking with me. Been another big week. We're going to finish it off with the Sugar Man, Sugar Ray Leonard. You know, one of the legendary Four Kings. Sugar Ray Leonard had the most Four Kings fights, remember. There were 9 total Four Kings fights altogether. Sugar Ray was in 6 of them. Won 4, lost 1. Had 1 draw with Tommy Hearns. I thought it was really a loss, but you know, they called it a draw. You know, Tommy Hearns outboxed Sugar Ray both times, but the first time he got clipped. I believe it was the 13th round, he went through the ropes and he didn't, it was at the end of the round and he didn't recover between rounds and came out in 14. Sugar Ray jumped right back on him and finished him. But we're going to get into it at 2:30. I always got a few more of my people come in here. Ray Patterson, straight out of New Jersey in the building. Looking good with the wrench, Ray Patterson. And what y'all think? I think Rachel Donaire deserves the wrench today, just for showing up. Salute to Rachel Donaire. If you're stopping by, Queen. Hope you stick around and enjoy the show. But yes, I'm picking Canelo. Rachel Donaire is now managing moderator on Cat Sports, the Boxtorian. But yeah, I'm picking Canelo. I think he'll get him out of there. What you think, Old School? You really usually make some pretty good picks. Old School picked the Ryan Garcia Devin Haney fight correctly. But, you know, we got the situation going on now. Ryan said he didn't do it. You know, did everybody see the thing he put out that I think it came out yesterday? He said it's a conspiracy against him. So anything happened today? I haven't. I've been working hard this morning, so I haven't really came home and got straight into my show. But yeah, that's a bad situation, man. We were all celebrating Ryan's big win, and now this. Wow. But we'll see what happens with it. Oh, okay, old school. Old school says Canelo's gonna wipe the ring up with Jaime. No, he says Jaime, not Jaime. Old school says Jaime. But yeah, Jaime's been in that Golden Boy Protection Program over there. He's 43-0. So, but I think it's safe to say he hasn't been in there with anybody like a Canelo yet, you know. But I was looking at it yesterday. They were interviewing a lot of, how they were interviewing some former fighters, current fighters, trainers, and a lot of them, just as many said Jaime as said Canelo. Few of them looking at Canelo's approaching 70. He had 67 fights, but I don't think that's going to matter. Canelo has that granite chin, and I saw Triple G land some fierce stuff on him, and Canelo just fired back. So I don't think Jaime's going to be able to. Well, anybody can hurt anybody, but I don't think Jaime's going to be able to catch Canelo if anything significant enough to get him out of there. A lot of people favorite Jaime. Oh my good. Old school got me saying Jaime. I meant Jaime. A lot of people have picked Jaime in a decision, but I got Canelo either way. Goes the distance. I got Canelo, and but I'm thinking he'll get him out of there around 9, between 8 and 10. Jaime is gonna go bye-bye. But it should be a good fight. It's a good card overall. I'm gonna go over that real quick at 2:30. In about 10 minutes, I'm gonna go over that real quick too. Plus, we got a card out of Japan. And remember, the Monster is Tuesday. That's right. The Monster is back in there. And that arena that the Monster is fighting at, I heard that that's the first fight in that venue since Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas. Wow, that was really amazing to me. I was thinking that the Monster had probably fought there before. There's Trump in the building. Salute, Trump. Trump, you requested the Salvador Sanchez profile. That's next Friday, okay? I was hoping I'd see you between now and then. Yeah. I couldn't remember who it was, but yeah, it was Trump and Salvador Sanchez. That's next Friday. And what's amazing about Salvador is, as legendary as he's thought of now, his career ended at 23 years old. He had the car accident and was killed. And just arguably one of the greatest featherweights ever. And all that, and just think if he would have went up into his prime, past his prime fight, it wouldn't be no argument who the best featherweight is. Willie Pep is talked about as best too, but nah. If Salvador hadn't had the accident and went up into his prime, there would be no argument. It would be Salvador hands down. The man is already thought of as legendary, and his career ended at 23 years old. Just think about that, man. Wow. Of course, he started, I think he was 16 when he started his professional career. Hardcore Boxing News, #JBT. That's J Hardcore. Hey, I just got that thing in the mail today. I'm sorry, but I've been busy, but you should get it. I guess Monday now, since we both right here in Maryland. Yeah. But J Hardcore is in the building. It's on the way. Salute to J Hardcore, everybody. #JBT. That's the creator of the JBT. And what an idea he had. Just a fire organization. Some fire channels. Lighting up these YouTube airwaves. And it's still early in the JBT day. We got 3 more great acts coming up behind me. We got The Voice. Let's Do Boxing at 4. Of course, J Hardcore will be back in the Hangout at 8. And guess what? This is the Friday night Hangout. This is the special one. Don't miss this one. I'm sure going to be in there 8 o'clock. And then after the Hangout, the Mighty Rise podcast puts it down. And when the Mighty Rise podcast finishes, they're going to turn out the lights and close the door on the JBT day. That's the closer. The Mighty Rise podcast. It's an honor to be amongst these great channels. And then we got hashtag Let's Talk Fashion on Wednesdays, once a week, Remo. That is a fire show. You know, I got to follow it on Wednesday. That's a rough day coming behind that. But I'm using Remo's own ideas against him. Remo gave me a truckload of ideas about shows, and every Wednesday I'm going to use one of them right behind hashtag Let's Talk Fashion. Yeah. And then we got Ed McQueen's Casual Corner. And remember, you have not watched a fight until you watch one after a Casual Corner. That's for sure. I've been watching boxing since the 80s. And after I watched Casual Corner, I was seeing things in fights I had never saw before. That Ed McQueen is something else, man. He might be in here later on. But yeah, we're going to kick off in about 5 minutes. Let's go over these cards real quick. And then we're going to talk about Sugar Ray Leonard. Got a good one for you today. Got a big week. But everybody ready for the weekend? If you're not, you better get ready because it's here. I guess the weigh-in will be starting up soon. Everything happens during my show. You know, the final press conference, the weigh-in. But I always watch them later. I see an exodus of everybody leaving. I say, uh-oh, they're going to watch the weigh-in. But they all come back. But it's all good. We got Ray Patterson straight out of New Jersey in there. Ray says Canelo takes him out in 7. Okay. And I missed something. Trump had made a statement up here. Trump said both of those guys never been knocked down. I don't think both never been stopped. Once the fireworks begin, we'll see. Canelo's chin is granite. You're right, Trump. Canelo has a granite. Man, I've seen that guy get hit with stuff that I probably would have been out for the next month. You know, that guy just fired back. It didn't phase him, you know. But it's here. And man, we have a fire schedule coming up. Wow. And the one I really like is Bam Rodriguez and Juan Francisco Estrada. I'm not, is that May 29th or June 29th? I know it's the 29th or something, but that's going to be, And you know, a lot of people were saying, well, Bam should take a tune-up at 115 first, but no. Bam fought at 115 before. He had that belt before, then he came down. But see, down there it's just 3 pounds, so you know, no biggie. Bam will be ready. I'm picking Bam in that one, by the way. What y'all think about Bam Rodriguez and Juan Francisco? It's a lot of big fights coming up. Then that August 3rd card, woo, that's off the chain. That's full of main events. I like Pitbull and Rayo, and then Virgil and Tim Zoo. We're not sure on Virgil yet because that, what was it, rhabdomyolysis? Listen to Cass Sports, rhabdomyolysis. The way I put your stuff. But anyway, Virgil has had 2 outings the last few years, and both of them been 1-round affairs. I mean, not even complete 1 round. He's got his man out of there in the first round both times. So, I'd hate to find on the Tim Zoo fight that he don't still have it. That's I would have liked to see Virgil get some rounds, but he didn't. So it is what it is. That's on that August 3rd card. But this is a good card tomorrow. We're going to talk about it in about 5 minutes, I promise. But Sugar Ray Leonard today. Friday is profile day. Don't forget, Monday is the JBT panel discussion day. I dropped the link earlier in the show, and we just chop it up for the entire show. It started last Thursday, then I changed it to Monday. So if we had one Monday, we've had 2 great ones. So it's been a smashing success so far. Had the big wigs in here, like Jay Hardcore and Old School, Coach Tommy, Coach Thomas Morris, and McQueen. Let's Talk Fashion. I guess that's what he called himself now. He got Remo in parentheses. So he's been in there. The Voice stopped by the panel. I tell you, we've been having some fire JBT panel discussions. And we're going to have another one Monday. So stop by for that, okay? Make sure you stop by for that Monday. Let me take a drink. They kicked this Friday afternoon box story and all. Your friendly neighborhood historian. Like Officer Friendly walks the neighborhood. The friendly neighborhood box historian comes through the neighborhood Monday through Friday at 2, handing out that boxing history. That's how we do it over here at Cast Sports, the box historian. Let's get ready to talk about these fights real quick, and then we're going to talk about Sugar Ray Leonard, legendary sport king, just a great career. And he almost didn't turn pro. We're going to talk about that after the Olympics. He was planning on going to school because he had received a scholarship to the University of Maryland, very prestigious university in Maryland. And then the situation with his kid and the child support and the endorsements went away. You know, we're going to talk about all of that. I'm going to go over Mr. Man and give up the whole show before we get started. Okay, Trump says, Baron Rodriguez is phenomenal. Old school resume. Elito Estrada is the smooth style, second to Canelo. This decade for the best Mexican fighter. Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. 1,000%, Trump. Yeah, Bam is right there. And they're talking about who will Canelo hand the torch to as far as Mexican fighters. Who else? Bam. Bam would be an excellent representative. A lot of people don't pay attention to those weight classes down there, but we've had some great ones, like Bam, and the Monsters came through there. And Rachel's in here. Nonito Donaire came through those weight classes. We've had some great fighters down there in those. I've always followed them, you know. We had the great Ricardo Lopez, who ruled the 90s at 105. He was a champion for the entire decade, except for a few months. The only reason he didn't have it those few months is because he vacated and moved up and became champion at 108. The great Ricardo Lopez. I did a profile on him a few weeks ago. So yeah, if you're not paying attention to those lower weight classes down there, you are doing yourself a big disservice. Fighters came through there and still coming through there. We got the Monster Tuesday, remember? They owe you anyway. Is everybody ready for this Sugar Ray Leonard? The Sugar Man fights tomorrow. I'm going to tell you how he got his nickname and everything. Don't miss it. Let's talk about tomorrow real quick. And we got two cards, remember. We got one from Japan too. It's in the arena where Mike Tyson fought Buster Douglas, and like I said, that's the first fight there since Mike and Buster Douglas. I couldn't believe that when Jay Hardcore told me. But Jay Hardcore told me, so I know it's right. Yeah. Jay Hardcore tell you anything, it's been researched and verified. Okay. Very reliable source. Okay. And the founder of the JBT. So you know he's a very smart man. Came up with this idea. And don't forget the Friday night hangout tonight. Like I said earlier in the JBT day, I'm just the second act. The Voice will be through here in a few. He's up next. I'm going to take you right up to the Voice's doorstep. And then we're going in there and listen to him build. But the first card of tomorrow is I'm going to talk about is the T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada, headlined by Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. And you know, that's for Canelo's undisputed IBF, WBA, WBC, WBO, and Zering, super middleweight. The co-main is Mario Barrios versus Fabian Madonna, and that's for Barrios' interim WBC welterweight strap. I think it's all title fights. Emantas Stanionis is fighting again. He hadn't fought the wall neither. Remember, Emantas was was counseled about 2 or 3 times, him and Virgil's fight last year, because it was Imantas one time, so he had some kidney issues, and then Virgil had the rhabdomyolysis. Then I think that finally they just scrapped it altogether. But Imantos is back in there tomorrow against Gabriel Meister. That's for Imantas Staniotis' WBA welterweight title. Okay, and then we got Edion. Oh no. That we got Brandon Figueroa going up against Jesse Magdalena. That's for Brandon Figueroa's interim WBC featherweight title. All title fights. Okay, so that's gonna be a great card. Isn't that part of the Prime PBC joint effort? Okay, that'll be the second kickoff of a second edition of Prime. Then we had Edion Arena in Osaka, Japan. Okay, Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Ryosuke Nishida headlining it, and that's for the IBF bantamweight title. Okay, 118. Just talking about those weight classes. We got a title fight tomorrow. Then we got Teru Obita versus Wyoming Lee, bantamweight, 8 rounds. Hayasuki Kinjo versus Daisuke Yokoyama, junior flyweight, 4 rounds. In fact, we got a lot of prospects on this card. Ryuta Kinjo versus Hiromu Tadokura, super bantamweight, 4 rounds. Shote Tori versus Ipe Hadaoka, welterweights, 4 rounds. Akihiro Kudo versus Yukihiro Suzuki, that's super flyweights, 4 rounds. Yota Sato versus Haruki Hakamura, featherweights, also 4 rounds. Finally, Yudai Matsumoto versus Ryuin Odani, 4 rounds, super bantamweights. I don't think I did too bad, okay, at all. How you said, J Hardcore? At all. I don't think I did too bad at all. Okay. Yeah, Trump, you are right. Bam is the perfect one for Canelo to hand that torch to. Okay, let's get ready to get into this Sugar Ray Leonard profile. Get my slide presentation set up here. Man, it's a nice breeze coming through that window. Beautiful in Baltimore, Maryland today, where I am. Mid-70s. I could take this year round. Okay. But here we go. The life and career of Sugar Ray Leonard. Okay. Slide you over that way. Oh, goodness. I messed up. Bear with me for a minute. Melanin Queen 27 in the building. Appreciate you, Melanin Queen 27. Bear with me for a minute. I should have been prepared, but I wasn't. But it's only going to take a second. Is everybody okay this Friday afternoon, ready for the weekend? Got a big card tomorrow. Here we go. I'm coming. But yeah, JBT, just boxing talk. That's all it is. Just a group of people that love to talk boxing. Get my slide display ready. I'm at the top. There we go. Sugar Ray. And don't forget. Well, how can we forget? Who's Tuesday? The Monster. They owe you in a way. Number 2 on Cash Sports The Box Storians pound for pound list. What's Bud is still number one in my book. But hey, somebody put Monster number one, I ain't mad. Because that's a bad man. Just look at what he did to Cool Boy. First fight in the division. Went up there and destroyed him, man. Okay, let's do this. Sugar Ray Leonard. The life and career of Sugar Ray Leonard. Let me turn that down some first before we get started. I told you I miss Bare Knuckles because Bare Knuckles would have told me to turn it down a long time ago. I think that's good, right? Is that good? Yeah. Okay, this is going to be good today. Life and career of Sugar Ray Leonard. Got a nice slide display for you. Okay. Sugar Ray Leonard is currently 67 years old. He has a birthday coming up, matter of fact, May 17th. He'll be 68. Okay? Yep. Ray Charles Leonard. We're named after Ray Charles, the singer. Okay? But he's best known as Sugar Ray Leonard. Okay? Former professional boxer, and he's now also a motivational speaker. An occasional actor. Yeah. Sugar Ray's done a little acting. He was born, like I said, May 17th, 1956. Got a birthday coming up. And he's often regarded as one of the greatest boxers of all time. His professional career went from 1977 through 1997. Had a 20-year career. Okay? 77 through 97. He won world titles in 5 weight classes. Okay? And he was the lineal champion in 3 of those weight classes, as well as undisputed at welterweight. One of the legendary 4 Kings, of course. You know who they were. Group of boxers who fought each other in the 1980s. 9 total fights between them. You know, Sugar Ray, The Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran, the Hitman Thomas Hearns, and the Marvelous One, Marvin Hagler. Those were the 4 Kings. Now we have Wilfred Benitez, who could have been the 5th king, but there's only 4 kings in the deck. But Wilfred Benitez fought all the 4 kings except for Hagler. Okay, so we can't forget him. He fought in that same era as the 4 kings. Yep. Jay says Ray was his guy. Mine too, Jay. Yep. And Sugar Ray also won a gold medal at the 1976 Summer Olympics. And we're going to cover that later on in the show. Yes, we are. Now, Sugar Ray Leonard was born in Wilmington, North Carolina. Okay. He had a total of 40 fights. He had 36 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. That was a kind of a controversial draw because I believe Hearns beat him, but the judges didn't, and that's what counted. So that's what's on the record, 1 draw. 25 of them coming by way of knockout. Okay? Wasn't exactly what you call a knockout puncher, but he had pop and he couldn't get you out of there. Just the ex-Thomas Hearns. Okay? Now, the 4 Kings created a wave of popularity in the lower weight classes. And that's really what really kept boxing relevant after Muhammad Ali. After Muhammad Ali's era, you know, when he left the sport. You know, he was the face of the sport, and we needed something. And the 4 Kings came along at the perfect time. Okay, but Sugar Ray was one of them. He was in the most Four Kings fights, and he won the most. Like I said, 4-1-1 record as a Four King. And Leonard was also the first boxer to earn more than $100 million in purses. Okay, that's not counting endorsements. That's just from his purses from boxing. First fighter to earn more than over $100 million. Okay, was Sugar Ray Leonard. He was named Boxer of the Decade in the 1980s. Ring Magazine named him Fighter of the Year in 1979 and 81. And the Boxers Writers Association of America named Leonard Fighter of the Year in 1976, 1979, and 1981. And in 2002, Ring Magazine voted Leonard as the 9th greatest fighter of the last 80 years. Okay. In 2016, he was voted by Ring Magazine to be the greatest living fighter. Okay. BoxRec ranks him as the 14th greatest boxer of all time, pound for pound. And on Cash Sports, the Boxtorian's top 10 fighters of all time, Sugar Ray came in at number 6. Only ones in front of him was Joe Louis, Willie Pep, Henry Armstrong, Muhammad Ali, and Sugar Ray Robinson. That's very lofty company right there. Okay? Let's take a look at Sugar Ray's early life. Now, he was the 5th of 7 children, born to Cicero and Gita Leonard. Like I said, born in Wilmington, North Carolina. He was named after Ray Charles, which was his mother's favorite singer. Okay, and I told you about the story about the No Mars fight. You know, Ray Charles was blind and had this way of rocking when he was singing. And Sugar Ray actually did that during the fight against Iran. That was part of the thing that frustrated Iran and made him quit. Okay, he did the Ray Charles rock during the fight. Now, he was born in Wilmington, North Carolina, but his family moved to Washington, D.C. when he was 3 years old. And then they settled permanently in Palmer Park, Maryland, when he was 10. Okay. His father was a supermarket night manager, and his mother was a nurse. Went to a high school called Parkdale High School. Jay Hardcore probably knows about that. Mm-hmm. That's where Sugar Ray went, Parkdale. Now, he was a shy child, and he almost drowned when he was young during a flood in Seat Pleasant, Maryland. Other than that, his childhood was uneventful. Stayed home a lot reading, liked to read comic books, and playing with his dogs. Okay. His mother said about him, Ray never did talk too much, and we never could tell what he was thinking. But I never had any problems with him. I never, ever had to go to school once because of him. Okay? Now let's look at his amateur career. He had a very, very impressive amateur career, including winning the Olympic gold medal in 1976. Trump says he has Ray's light heavyweight championship. What? How did you get that, Trump? Wow. Trump must be some famous guy. He has Ray's light heavyweight championship. Now, Sugar Ray started boxing at the Palmer Park Recreation Center in 1969. Okay? Okay, here's the Four Kings right there. Quick look at the Four Kings. Okay. Now, he started boxing at the Palmer Park Recreation Center. His older brother, Roger, that's his older brother, Roger, right there, started boxing first, right? And Roger helped to start the boxing program at that center. He urged the director, a guy named Ollie Dunlop, to form a boxing team. Now, Dave Jacobs was a former boxer himself, and Yanks Morton, they were two of Sugar Ray's trainers throughout his career. Okay. They volunteered as boxing coaches at the rec center. Now, the way Roger got Sugar Ray into it, he won some trophies, and he showed them off in front of Sugar Ray. And they go and he go to Sugar Ray and starting boxing. Okay, Lonnie Lee in the building. What's up, Lonnie? We made another one. It's Friday. Sugar Ray Leonard today, Lonnie. You didn't miss too much. That's why I wait until 2:30 for my supporters like Lonnie Lee can get in here. They won't miss too much of this show. He's big time. He's here every day, so it wouldn't be fair to start the show at 2 and have him miss the whole half hour of it. So yeah, that's why I wait till 2:30 for big time supporters like Lonnie Lee. And he's in the building now. Salute to Lonnie Lee. And that's Lonnie Lee hashtag JBT, by the way. Can't forget that JBT. That's important. Okay. But welcome, Lonnie. Sugar Ray Leonard, the life and career of Sugar Ray Leonard. But his older brother was boxing first, and he won some trophies, and he was showing off to Sugar Ray. And that's what made Sugar Ray start. Okay. Now, in 1972, Sugar Ray boxed in the featherweight quarterfinals of the National AAU tournament. He lost by decision to a guy by the name of Jerome Artis. That was the first time he lost in the amateur. Okay. Later that year, he was in the Eastern Olympic trials. And the rules stated that a boxer had to be 17 to box the international competition. But Leonard was only 16, so he lied about his age, and he got in. And in that tournament, he made it to the lightweight semifinals, and he lost a controversial decision to Greg Whaley. And he beat Whaley so bad that after Whaley got the decision in the Sugar Ray fight, Sugar Ray beat him so bad during the fight, where they didn't even allow Whaley to continue in the tournament. And he never boxed again. But somehow he got the decision. Right? Now, this is how Sugar Ray got his nickname. Guy by the name of Sarge Johnson. He was an assistant coach of the United States Olympic boxing team. And he said to one of Leonard's coaches, "That kid you got is sweet as sugar," right? And the nickname stuck. But however, given Sugar Ray's style and the first name Ray, it was only a matter of time before people started calling him Sugar Ray. They added that Ray to it. And that name stuck with him for the rest of his career, rest of his life, really. Because I'm still calling him Sugar Ray today, years after he retired. But that's how he got his nickname, okay? Yeah, and they started calling him Sugar Ray after that was the man, Sugar Ray Robinson. Many people consider him to be the greatest boxer of all time. That was who the pound for pound list was created for, the great Sugar Ray Robinson. Okay? Benny Burton. What's happening, Benny Burton? Welcome to Cash Sports. Benny says, Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray Leonard was great for boxing. 100%, Benny Burton. Hope you stick around and enjoy the show, Benny. It's good to see you. I'm Cash Sports, the box historian, a.k.a. 2 o'clock Shorty. Shorty, that is. And Thomas Hill gave me another name the other day. The Old Timers, the guy that ducks the Old Timers show. On Sundays in the Hangout. But I'm listening. But every time I put my name in the chat, everybody starts to say, Cass, get up there, Cass. Led by Thomas Hill. So I just listen. But salute to Benny Burton. And let's continue. But you're 100% right, Benny. Sugar Ray Leonard was great for boxing. No doubt about that. Okay. Now, yeah, Sugar Ray, we was talking about Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray was named after. Many consider, including Cash Sports, many consider Sugar Ray Robinson to be the greatest boxer of all time. Now, in 1973, Sugar Ray Leonard won the National Golden Gloves Lightweight Championship. But he lost to Randy Shields in the lightweight final of the National AAU tournament. But the following year, Sugar Ray won the National Golden Gloves and the National AAU Lightweight Championship, okay? So he came back strong. Now, he suffered his last two losses as an amateur in 1974. Lost another controversial decision to Anatoly Kamenev in Moscow. And guess what happened? After the tournament, Kamenev gave the winner's trophy to Sugar Ray. That's what he thought about the decision, and he got the decision. But he gave the trophy. He said Sugar Ray deserved the trophy, and he gave it to him. Okay? But you know, they always been hard on Americans in those international competitions, especially back around that time. They always been hard on American fighters. I don't know why, but they always have been. Evander Holyfield got cheated in the Olympics. Roy Jones, Floyd. Yeah, they've been hard on American fighters in those international competitions. Always have been. But this guy, the fighter, you know, y'all got it wrong, judges, and he gave the winner's trophy to Sugar Ray. Okay. And he lost his final fight to his Polish fighter, Jan KWACZ. Okay. Sugar Ray got disqualified because now he knocked this guy down 3 times in the first round. But the referee ruled that Sugar Ray had punched the guy after the bell. See, I told you how hard they are always been on American boxers in those international competitions. Oh, you knew Roger? Roger Leonard. Okay, Jay. I told y'all. Like I was saying, Jay probably knew about that high school. He knew Sugar Ray's brother. Is he still living, Jay? You said you knew, like, you know, Roger. I never heard too much about Roger. Now, in 1974, Sugar Ray won the National Golden Glove, the National AAU light welterweight title this time, because in 73, he won both of those tournaments as a lightweight. But by the next year, he was all the way up to light welterweight and jumped up 2 weight classes. Then, 75, he won the National AAU light welterweight championships again. And then in the Pan American Games, he won the light welterweight championship. And I think that's what he fought in the Olympics, light welterweight, yeah. So 76, Olympics came around. Sugar Ray made the team, yeah, light welterweight, I was right. He made the team as a light welterweight, okay? And this was a fire team. Check this out. Who was on that team? Michael Spinks and Leon Spinks. Howard Davis Jr. Howard Davis was the outstanding fighter of that entire Olympics that year. Leo Randolph, Charles Mooney, and John Tate. Many consider the 1976 U.S. Olympic team to be the greatest boxing team in the history of the Olympics. I don't know, because in 84 was pretty special too. 84 had Evander Holyfield, Colonel Sweet Pea Whitaker. It had one of the Steve. It was 2 brothers that fought in from the Kronk Gym. I gotta know. I got the name right here because I did the cards yesterday. McCrory. Steve McCrory, Evander Holyfield, Colonel Whitaker, Steve McCrory. All those guys were in 80. There's a few more. Oh, Mark Breland. So I don't know about 70. Both of those teams were special. They right there neck and neck. But a lot of people think 76 was the best ever. It's between those two. 80 was pretty good too, but 80 didn't get to go because of politics. And I don't want to get started on that because I get upset behind politics ruining all those young kids' lives. And it was in Russia. We boycotted it. And of course, in 84, the Russian kids' lives got ruined because they boycotted coming to LA. You knew they were because we didn't go there in 80. So 2 sets of kids just, you know, that you train your whole life for the Olympics and then politics. Some politician tell you can't go. That's ridiculous. But let me get off of that. But that is ridiculous, man. Okay. So Leonard won his first 4 Olympic. Now you have to fight 6 times to get to the gold, to win the gold medal. Leonard won his first 4 by 5-0 decisions. Okay. In the semifinals, He won that one by 5-0, okay? Now in the finals, he went up against the great Cuban knockout artist, Andres Adama. Remember him? I know Jay probably heard of him. And coming into it was a classic final that year because Leonard won his first 5-0 decisions. Adama won his first 5 by knockouts. So you had the classic boxer versus puncher in the final. Okay. So we get to the final. Leonard landed several good left hooks in the first round. The second round, he dropped Adama with the left straight to the chin. Then in the third and final round, he hurt Adama. I believe Adama got 2 standing 8 counts, okay, in the final round. And Leonard got his 6th straight 5-0 decision to win the gold medal. Jury faints, 757, #JBT in the building. Jury, you know, I forgot to even put the opening in here, man. I'm sorry. I thought about it like 20 minutes ago. I said, oh shit, I don't have the introduction about Sugar Ray. I had already started, man. Damn. But please keep them coming. It's Salvador Sanchez next week. I don't know how I did that. Jury gives me some fire openings of the fire, the profile every Friday, man. Y'all seen the first 2, Roberto Duran and Marvin Hagler. The Sugar Ray Leonard, I forgot to put it in. But salute the Jury face in the building. Part of that JBT Fire technological analytical team. We got that covered. Big time. Jury Faints, Let's Talk Fashion, / Remo, and Ant McQueen. That's our technological analytical team. Enough said. I don't even need to mention no more about that. Just mention them 3 names. We got that covered. But anyway, Sugar Ray won the gold medal. 6 straight 5-0 decisions. Just went through the Olympics like crazy, you know. Okay. So after the Olympics, Sugar Ray announced that he was finished with boxing. He said his journey has ended, his dream is fulfilled, and he wants to go to school. And he had a scholarship to the University of Maryland. It was a present from the citizens of Leonard, Maryland. They had gave Sugar Ray a full scholarship to the University of Maryland, very prestigious school in Maryland. So Sugar Ray said he was going to go to school on that scholarship. He wasn't going to box anymore. He was going to take up communications. And he finished his amateur career. He had 170 total fights. He won 65, lost 5, and 75 knockouts. Okay? Now, listen to this. Change of plans. This is very interesting. Had a change of plans in there, which was great for boxing fans. Now, Juanita Wilkinson, Leonard's high school girlfriend, told him she was pregnant in the summer of 1973, right? And they decided, they were both very, very young, but they decided to go ahead and have the baby. But, you know, Leonard had, like I told you, kids playing the Olympics way early in life. So by 73, Leonard already had his eyes set on the Olympics. So they said, we're going to get married, but let's put off marriage until after the Olympics, right? Okay. And the kid and Juanita lived with Juanita's parents. Now, and when Leonard boxed in the Olympics, he had a picture of Juanita taped to his sock. Now, shortly before the Olympics, Juanita filed an application to receive child support from Prince George's County. That's a county in Maryland, right? So, and she named Leonard as the father, right? And the county state's attorney's office filed a civil suit against Leonard to establish payments. Because, you know, the woman go down there for child support. The county, or whatever jurisdiction it is, wants some money from whoever's named as the father. So they filed paperwork against Sugar Ray. But by that time they sent the paperwork to Sugar Ray's home, he had already left for Montreal for the Olympics. So he didn't even get the paperwork, right? And Leonard knew nothing about this. Juanita never told him this, right? And she went with him to Montreal. That whole time she had done this, she was right there with him at the Olympics, never mentioned it. So when Leonard came home from the Olympics, the headlines in the papers read, Sugar Ray Leonard named in welfare department fraternity suit. And you know, when you win the gold medal, the endorsements come at you big time. And look, Sugar Ray Leonard, he was popular. Everybody loved him. He would have made a big time in endorsements. But when the endorsements saw those negative hits, well, they called it negative. They didn't want that associated with their brand, so they hit it for the hills. Sugar Ray didn't get the endorsements. And it was a terrible move by Juanita, because if he'd got all those endorsements, she wouldn't have needed child support. They would have been set. He could have went to college, got an education, got a good job, you know? So bad move, Juanita. And she said she never asked him for any money and didn't tell him because she didn't feel like being bothered by all those complications by asking him for money. But newsflash, Juanita, you take a man for child support, the jurisdiction gonna ask the man for some money. So you should have told him, right? But it was a bad move by Juanita, but it was a good move for boxing fans, because if she hadn't have done that, we probably would have never got Sugar Ray Leonard. We wouldn't have got all those great Four Kings fights in that legendary career. So bad move by Juanita, but great move for boxing fans. And the endorsements eventually came, you know, once he started his pro career and everything. So yeah. But he changed his mind anyway and decided to, you know, turn pro, because at that same time this was going on, his father was in the hospital, right? And his mother had a heart attack. So he had to work. And what else was Sugar Ray Leonard going to do? He decided to turn pro. Okay. Mike Grimm in the building. Al Booger in the building. What's up, Mike Grimm? And AB, salute. This is the Sugar Ray Leonard profile today. Yeah, that's when he had planned to go to college and not even turn pro, but that's what made him turn pro when that situation went down. So like I said, that was great for boxing fans. Okay. But yeah, Juanita should have told him. You know, the man come home to that kind of news, and all the newspapers got the headline. Sugar Ray Leonard named the fraternity suit, and the lucrative endorsements just ran away from him. But let's look at his professional career now. There is Sugar Ray and Juanita and the baby. The baby was like 3 by the time of the Olympics. Okay, there they go. Look at his professional career. Early professional career now. When he decided to turn professional, Yanks Morton introduced him to a guy named Mike Trainer, a lawyer, who was a friend of Yanks. Remember, Yanks was Sugar Ray's trainer. He introduced Sugar Ray to Mike Trainer, who was a lawyer, right? And Trainer talked 24 of his friends and clients to underwrite Sugar Ray's career with an investment of $21,000. And Sugar Ray was supposed to repay that within 4 years at 8% interest. And Trainer made Sugar Ray the sole stockholder in Sugar Ray Leonard Corporation. He went out and got Angelo Dundee to be his trainer. There's Sugar Ray and Angelo later on. That's after post-boxing career. And remember, Angelo Dundee was also was Muhammad Ali's trainer, remember? And of course, it was working with Angelo was Yanks Morton and Dave Jacobs. There's Jacobs in the background there. There's Angelo Dundee, Sugar Ray, and Dave Jacobs. Yanks Morton and Dave, they stayed with him throughout his career. They had some differences in it. Yanks Morton left one time and came back. Dave Jacobs left and came back. But they were all, that was the 3 people they worked with for his entire career. Flawless Mentality and Black Excellence, hosted by Dr. Mark in the building. What's up, Flawless Mentality? How are you today, bro? Welcome to Cast Sports the Box Storian Profile Day. We are talking about Sugar Ray Leonard today. Okay, let's move on. We're up to his professional. He's getting ready to begin his professional career at this point, okay? Got the great Angelo Dundee as his trainer. That was a great move there, okay? Now, many of the people that they were considering to be his trainer, they wanted absolute control Okay. But Dundee, and they wanted like 33% of his purses. But Angelo Dundee did this. He said he would prescribe the training procedures, but he would leave the day-to-day work to Dave Jacobs and Yanks Morton, who both had been with Sugar Ray through the amateurs. So what they were prescribing for Sugar Ray and his training routine and everything had been working. So Angelo said, you two continue the day-to-day training of him. And, he would just prescribe the training procedures and choose his opponents. So that was very smart by Angelo. A lot of trainers would have came in and took right over. But Angelo said, what you guys been doing been working. So you just keep on doing what you're doing. I'll just oversee it and pick the opponents. And also, Angelo only wanted 15% of Leonard's purses, where all the other managers they considered wanted 33%. Angelo only wanted half. And he was a great trainer, so he was a natural pick, no brainer. Okay. Now, Leonard made his professional debut on February 5th, 1977. And guess who was at that fight? The box story. And guess what? We was doing, I was on the panel one time on the Hangout, and Marvin McDowell was on there, and the question Jay Harcourt asked was like 5 of us. Name, what was your first fight you attended? And it came to find out Marvin McDowell, that was also his first fight he attended. I thought that was just amazing. On YouTube, on a panel, we both had been at that was both our first fight. But it was against Louis the Bull Ortiz. Okay, that was his first fight. No, Louis the Bull Vega. I'm thinking about Louis Ortiz. Louis the Bull Vega, the Sugar Ray Leonard's first opponent. Old school says Angelo Dundee was one of the greatest as far as training and coaches. Yeah, and he was a manager too. Old school. Yeah. And he beat Vega by a 6-round unanimous decision. So his first fight was 6 rounds. And he made $40,000, and he paid back that loan right away. He didn't wait 4 years. He paid the back right away. That was smart because he dodged all that interest. Because if over the 4 years, it was 8% interest going along with it. So he paid it back right away. Didn't get an interest time to accrue. So that was very smart by Sugar Ray. Smart man. Mm-hmm. Now, in his 14th professional fight, he fought his first real world-ranked opponent. Guess who it was? Floyd Mayweather, Senior, that is. He was ranked 17th. This fight was on September 11th, 1978. Leonard won by a 10th round knockout. Got Floyd out of there in the 10th round. A month later, he beat his old amateur nemesis, Randy Shields. That was by a 10-round unanimous decision. Okay? Everybody smashing on the appreciation button. That's the like button in the JBT. I appreciate it if you would hit it. Thank you, Bird. Thank you. Appreciate it. In 1979, he knocked out Pete Ramirez in 4 rounds. We went from 6 rounds back to 4 rounds. And that was his first title, which was the North American Boxing Federation Welterweight Championship. That wasn't what we had, the WBA and WBC then. That championship was just like a secondary title, NABF. That was his first title. And he made his first title defense against Andy Price. Price was an up-and-coming contender. And he was sponsored by Marvin Gaye, the singer. And he had a reputation for going deep into fights, right? And it was believed by many sports reporters that he was going to beat Sugar Ray or give him a long competitive fight. But Leonard knocked him out in the first round. And at that point, his record was 25-0. Then came his first title fight. That was against Wilfred Benitez, the 5th king, unofficial 5th king. Because like I told you earlier, Wilfred Benitez fought all the 4 kings except Hagler. Now, Sugar Ray, that situation with his kid's mother hadn't happened. He'd have went to college and not turned pro. Benitez probably would have been the 4th king, right? And then he probably would have fought Hagler. But, that's one of them what ifs. But Sugar Ray turned pro and the rest is history, okay? Now, fought Wilfred Benitez for his first title fight. That was for the WBC Welterweight Championship, and it happened on November 30th, 1979 at the Palace, Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. 4,600 was at the fight. Leonard got his first $1 million purse, okay? And Benitez got $1.2 million. Because at that point, Benitez was the A side, okay? Sugar Ray had only been fighting 3 years. Benitez was the champion. And Benitez had made history by becoming the youngest champion ever in boxing and still stands to this day. He won his first title at 17. So Benitez was the A side. I think that was the last time that Sugar Ray wasn't the A side, was that fight. That was a highly competitive fight, too. Tactical battle, both very good boxers. And Leonard rocked Benitez in the first round with a left hook, okay? And late in the third round, he dropped Benitez with a jab, okay? And then Benitez was more embarrassed than hurt, and he got up real fast, okay? Now, the fourth round, Benitez started improving, started slipping punches and finding his range with his right hand, okay? And Sugar Ray had said early in the fight, he was started to take Benitez lightly because he was hitting him so easy, you know. But Benitez woke up around the fourth round, okay, and started being competitive with him. Excuse me for 1 minute. I don't know what happened to the slide. Okay, I'm trying. Yeah, there we go. That's Benitez right there. Yeah, that's Benitez. Yeah, he had started taking Benitez lightly because he was hitting him so easy early in the fight. But by the fourth round, Benitez had started making it a very competitive fight. Mike Masick, been in the building. Salute Mike Masick. Mike Masick always in the building. Now Leonard landed the harder punches in the fight. And he had Benitez hurt numerous times throughout the fight, right? But he couldn't put him away. And Leonard said after the fight, no one can make me miss punches like that. He said Benitez kind of reminded him of himself. And going into the final round, Leonard was leading on all three cards. And they went toe-to-toe in the 15th. And late in the round, he dropped Benitez again with a left. And Benitez got up, but just a few more punches later, the referee stopped the fight. And Leonard got the stoppage. That was his first championship. Okay? Next fight was Davy Boy Green. There's Davy Boy. This was on March 31st, 1980. And this was at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. Big time venue back around that time. Muhammad Ali fought there. Mm-hmm. And Davy Boy was British. Came in with a record of 33-2. But Leonard knocked him out with a devastating left hook. And Leonard called that punch the hardest single punch I ever threw. And then was the brawl in Montreal. Now, I went over this fight in the Duran profile, but that was from Duran's perspective. So it's a little different now because it's from the Sugar Ray Leonard perspective. Okay? So let's take a look at the brawl in Montreal. Everybody smashed on that like. Okay. The brawl in Montreal with the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. This was June 20th, 1980. In the same place where he won his gold medal, Olympic Stadium in Montreal, Canada. Okay? He had a crowd of 46,317 people, almost 50,000 in there. And Duran was the former undisputed world lightweight champion. He had a record of 71-1, right? And he lost that fight against the great Esteban de Jesus. And he was the number one welterweight contender and considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world at that time. Now, Duran was kind of salty coming in because Leonard received 1.5 million. No. Duran received 1.5 million and Leonard got 9 million. And Duran felt that he was the more accomplished, established fighter at that time because Leonard had only been fighting 4 years and Duran had been fighting since the late 60s, had set over 70 fights, had only lost one. So, and they made Leonard the A side. So Duran, but when he got to Montreal, Duran was the more popular. Okay, Leonard was kind of taken aback by that because that was where he won his Olympic gold medal, and he got like a warm welcome there. Duran got the hero's welcome. Okay, but Duran forced the issue and took the fight to Leonard. And Duran had talked about Leonard's wife and stuff before the fight, and Leonard came in and fought angry. Okay, and fought Duran's fight, and Duran kept him up against the ropes. Okay. Attack. He was all over Leonard. And Leonard fought pretty good, though, to be fighting Duran's style. But, the judges, you look at ring generalship and they see the entire fight being fought at Duran's style. So he had to receive points from the judges for that, Yeah, that was a bad move, wasn't it, Jay? All she had to do was wait on the endorsements. They would have been set. But it was a good move for us because it made Ray turned pro. Okay. But anyway, he rocked Leonard several times in the fight, but Leonard fought back the entire fight. But it was from almost the opening salvo of a fight that belonged to Duran because it was his style, brawl. Duran had good boxing skills too. Okay. But anyway, Duran got the decision. Close unanimous decision. And that was the first Leonard Duran fight. But they had an immediate rematch. Okay. This one was called No Mas in New Orleans. Okay. The official title of the fight was Stone versus Sugar, And this was the same year, November 25th, 1980, at the Louisiana Superdome. And Duran was fighting a losing battle from the beginning because guess who sang the national anthem? Ray Charles, Sugar Ray's mother's favorite singer, and who Ray Leonard was named after. Okay, so Duran was fighting a losing battle from the beginning. And Sugar Ray Leonard did that little Ray Charles rock during the fight. So yeah, Duran didn't know it, but he was fighting a losing battle once he even stepped in the ring. Yeah, Al Booger, that's what I'm thinking. She got some bad advice from somebody. She got some terrible advice from somebody. He should have just waited it out, man, them endorsements. And Sugar Ray, as popular as he was, charismatic, everybody loved him. The endorsements the companies couldn't wait to put him on their products, man. And then put those negative headlines in the papers when he got back. And she didn't even tell him. She should have at least told him. She was right there in Montreal at the Olympics with him. Yeah. But like I keep saying, it was a good move for boxing fans because if he had got all those endorsements, he was going to go to college. He wasn't even going to turn professional. So good move for boxing fans. Now, remember one of his trainers, I told you, both his trainers left him at one point in his career, at different times, but came back. This was the point where Dave Jacobs left him because he disagreed with the immediate rematch against Roberto Duran. Okay? Because he felt that Sugar Ray should have a tune-up fight before going right back in there with Duran. Okay, because he said he thought Sugar Ray won the first fight, which I did too. But he says he didn't think it was healthy for him to jump right back in there with Duran. And after the Montreal fight, Duran went on a partying spree. Went on a binge, man. And he just ballooned in weight. Remember that, Jay? Just ballooned in weight. He had a lot of weight to take off before that fight. And Leonard was aware of this. Okay? And he said after that fight, he said his intention was to fight Duran ASAP because he knew his habits and he knew he would indulge himself after that big win and gain 40 to 50 pounds. And then sweat it off to come back to 147, and that would be good for him in the fight. And unlike in Montreal, Leonard used his superior speed and movement and boxing skills to outbox, box, and befuddle Duran. And Leonard said the whole fight, I was moving. And boom, I snapped his head back with a jab. Boom! I snapped it back again. And Duran tried to get him against the ropes, but this time Leonard just kept pivoting, spinning off the ropes. And Duran couldn't pin him like he did the first fight. Then in round 7, that's when Leonard started to taunt him, right? And the most memorable punch of the fight was it right there. He wound up with the right hand, caught Duran looking at the wind up and caught him straight in the face with the left jab, okay? That was the beginning of the end, when Duran was getting frustrated and getting ready to say that's it. And Leonard said after he caught him with that jab, he saw his eyes water. And he continued to taunt Duran mercilessly. Stuck his chin out, inviting Duran to hit him. Duran couldn't catch it. Duran started hesitating, right? Then in the 8th round, it was in the closing second, Duran just turned his back and walked away and said no more, okay? Sugar Ray got the technical knockout. I told y'all the stories after the last fight. Duran said he quit because of stomach cramps, but Duran's own manager said Duran didn't have stomach cramps before the fight, during the fight, or after the fight. Duran's manager said he quit because he was embarrassed. Okay, yeah, the bolo punch, Jay. Yeah, that was the beginning of the end where Duran was getting ready to say that's it. Okay. And everyone was surprised. The hands of stone. Man, he was feared coming through the 70s. He only had 1 loss in 72 fights at that point. Everybody was surprised. His trainer, he had 2 veteran trainers, Freddie Brown and legendary Ray Arcel. They both said they were shocked. Okay. And Freddie Brown said there was no indication at any point in the fight that he was in pain or getting weak. Ray Arcel was pissed off. He said, that's it, I've had it. This is terrible. He said, I've handled thousands of fighters and never had anyone quit on me. Ray Arcel, he said he thinks Roberto needs psychiatric treatment more than he needs anything. And his manager, Carlos Elita, remember I told you, he said he didn't have no stomach cramps. He quit because he was embarrassed. He said, I know this. I know Roberto. He had been with him from day one, you know? Yeah, he was overweight for the prior fight too. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Jay, that is 100%. Yeah. So Sugar Ray said, I made him quit. He said, to make a man quit, to make the hands of stone Roberto Duran quit, was better than knocking him out. But that was his first world title. Now, his second world title was against Larry Bonds. Okay. Getting late, too. Second world title was against a guy named Larry Bonds. That was March 28th, 1981. Okay. Bonds was the 6th ranked contender. He was a southpaw. That made him a good opponent for Sugar Ray. Well, that wasn't. He was defending the title, but we come into his second world title in a little while. That was against Hearns. And yeah, he got Bobby. What was his name again? The southpaw, Larry Bonds, beat him. Then he went up against Kalule. Okay. Now he was at junior middleweight, June 25th, 1981, for the guy named Kalule. And they had expected Leonard to use a lot of a movement against him. But Leonard chose to fight on the inside against him. Okay? And it was 8 tough rounds. Leonard was ahead, but Kalule was coming on strong. And Leonard finally hurt him and dropped him with a flurry. Look, Sugar Ray was famous for those flurries. Okay, and got him out of there. Referee waved it off in the 8th round. Now we come to the showdown in the second world title. That was against the Hitman. Remember? The Hitman, Thomas Hearns. Okay? There you go. There's a Hitman. Now this fight was called the Showdown. September 6, 1981, back at Caesar's Palace in Vegas. This was an undisputed fight because it was WBA. WBC was the two big ones. Then IBF was on the way in another year or so, but WBA and WBC was undisputed at that point. There's Just Do Boxing, the voice in the building. Okay. We're going to cook till 4 o'clock. And then we're going to go listen to the voice build. Okay. Salute Just Do Boxing. Sugar Ray Leonard profile today. Okay, let's continue. But the voice is in the building. Well, he been listening the whole time. You know. Okay. The showdown. Now, this was still scheduled for 15 rounds because they hadn't had that death with Dooku, Kim, and Boo Moo Mancini was the one when they started going to 12. That hadn't happened yet, so championship fights were still 15. They had 12 rounds then, okay, but they hadn't dropped 15 yet. And at 23,618 in attendance, Hearn made 5.1 million. Sugar Ray made 11 million because Sugar Ray was that Benitez fight was the last one where Sugar Ray was the B-side, okay? Hearns came in 32-0 with 30 knockouts. That's a devastating knockout puncher. And remember, Hearns used to be a light punching boxer. Emmanuel Stewart brought that power out of him. It had to already be in there because, like they say, in football, they always say you can't teach speed. Well, I believe you can't teach power. Emmanuel just gave him the proper technique or whatever to get it out of him. Ant McQueen probably could speak to that better than me. But their power had to be in there. Talked about that with Jay Hardcore one time. Hearns 32 fights, 30 of them knockouts. He was a WBA welterweight championship. Okay, he won it in 1980. He knocked the second round knockout of Pepino Cuevas in his hometown, Detroit, Michigan. Now this fight began as expected. Okay, Leonard boxing from a distance, and Hearns stalking, trying to get that right hand on it. Hearns was trying to put that right hand and ended early. And Leonard was having difficulty with Hearns' long reach and that jab. Hearns got one of the best jabs in boxing history. By the end of round 5, Leonard's eye was swelling. That was the detached retina fight, by the way. I don't care what nobody say. Hearns was the one that did that. There's Let's Talk Fashion in the building. Remo in apostrophes. I mean, whatever you call it, parentheses or something. But Let's Talk Fashion, Remo, hashtag JBT. Another fire Let's Talk Fashion out there. I've seen it. I was too busy to see it live, but I've seen it. I'm going to see it again because he make us wait until next Wednesday for the next one. Okay, but salute Let's Talk Fashion. I sent you my email address too. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Leonard started out moving. Hearns started out stalking, trying to get that right hand on him. Okay, and about the 5th round, Hearns was starting to score with that right. Now, the roles reversed because in the 6th, Leonard battered Hearns in round 6 and 7. At that point, that's when the roles reversed. Leonard became the stalker and Hearns became the boxer, okay? And this fight had been built between a classic showdown between a powerful knockout artist and the best boxer puncher in the welterweight division. Now it devolved into a slow tactical fight because Hearns was quite a boxer too. And Hearns won rounds 9 when the roles reversed. Hearns started winning rounds then as the boxer, okay? Now between rounds 12 and 13, Angelo Dundee said those famous words, "You're blowing it, son, you're blowing it." In round 13, with a badly swollen left eye, the retina was probably already detached by that point. Leonard came out there in 13, came roaring off there, almost ran across the ring when that bell rang. And he hurt Hearns with a right hand. Then it exploded, because Leonard was famous for those flurries. Jay Hardcore can tell you. Leonard was the flurry king. He exploded with a combination of punches. Hearns' legs was gone. And after more pressure, he knocked Hearns through the rope, okay? Now this knockdown came toward the end of the round. So Hearns got out of the 14th round. 13th. Hearns got out of the 13th round, but he did not recover between rounds. And Leonard came right back out, jumped right back on him at 14 and staggered him. Okay. And referee Davy Pearl, Leonard went into another flurry, and the referee Davy Pearl had seen enough. He stopped it and gave Leonard the TKO. And guess what? At the time of the stoppage, Kearns was ahead on all three cards: 124, 122, 125, 122, and 125, 121. So pretty much Leonard needed that knockout because he was behind on 4 points, on 3 points on one card, 2 points on another. He needed that knockout, or he needed 2 knockdowns in 14 and 15 to win. Kearns pretty much had it won, but Leonard got him out of there. Now, there was a controversy due to the scoring of rounds 6 and 7. Even though Leonard dominated, hurting Kearns and battered him, all 3 judges gave him a 10-9 round. And they felt that Leonard should have been given a 10-8 round. And some people considered the stoppage premature. So there was controversy in it. But Leonard ended up winning it. And then, that was the detached retina fight. Excuse me. I got to take a drink real quick. Be right with you in 2 seconds. I got an ever-fresh lime. Should have got one of my coolers this Friday. But anyway, Leonard retired after that fight because his eye was in bad shape. Okay? But he didn't stay retired. Now, on February 15th, 1982, he went up against Bruce Finch. That ain't Bruce Finch. Okay, it is Bruce Finch. Knocked him out. And on May 14th, 1982, he fought, wait a minute. Okay. On May 14th, 1982, while sparring, he detached. He had that's when he found out he had a detached retina. And he had a fight scheduled against Roger Stafford, but it was canceled. Okay. That's when he retired for the first time. He invited Hagler and 3 other boxers to Baltimore, Maryland, to hear him announce that whether he would continue boxing or not, and he announced he was retiring. But he missed the limelight in the competition, and in December 1983, he announced he was returning to the ring. Went up against, I believe that's Kevin Howard did. Had a fight with Kevin Howard. He announced that he was going to fight Hagler, but he got some tune-ups in. And before that fight, Dave Jacobs rejoined him. Remember, I told you, a couple of his, Dave Jacobs and the other trainer left, and they both ended up coming back. Dave Jacobs returned. Remember, he had left after disagreements about fighting Duran again, but he came back. And then we have Leonard versus Hagler. Okay, that was around the time frame where that fight came around. Okay, let me slow down. March 10th, 1986, Hagler knocked out John the Beast Mugabe in 11 rounds to retain the undisputed world middleweight championship for the 12th time. And he went to 62 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. After that fight, Hagler stated, "I want Leonard," okay? And Leonard was ringside. And he watched John the Beast Mugabe outbox Hagler, okay? Of all people, John the Beast. And it was at that point that Leonard decided to come back and fight Hagler because he felt, after watching that Mugabe fight, he felt Hagler was slowing down. At that point, he figured he could beat Hagler, okay? On May 1st, 1986, he announced the fight. He was going to fight Hagler, okay? And the fight, and that announcement generated a lot of controversy because of Leonard's inactivity and his eye injury. And a lot of people didn't want him to come back, okay? But he made the decision to come back and fight Marvelous Marvin Hagler in a fight that was billed as the super fight. Okay? Now, it was again at Caesar's Palace on April 6, 1987. Leonard was guaranteed $11 million. Hagler was guaranteed $12 million. I lied because Hagler was the A side because he was the undisputed middleweight champion. Okay, and he had made 12 straight defenses. So that was the first fight. Leonard was the B side since the Benitez fight earlier. I think that was 1979. The Bob Evans, the Bob father, was a promoter, and according to the Bob father, the fight grossed over $78 million, which right now that's around $200 million in today's money. Okay, $78 million in 87 when this fight was. It's equivalent to about $200 million in today, 2024. Okay, so that's what the fight grossed. Now, the original fight plan was for Leonard to go toe-to-toe with Hagler and try to cut him like Hearns did. But the plan changed about 5 days before the fight because Leonard got hit by a sparring partner and was badly buckled. He said he almost knocked me out. I heard that Leonard did get knocked out in sparring, preparing for that fight with Hagler. Okay. Now, many people were surprised. Hagler, a natural southpaw, opened the first 2 rounds boxing orthodox, and that's what cost him the fight because he lost both rounds, okay? And Leonard got off to a quick start because of that. And Hagler started the 3rd round out as a southpaw, and he started having success. But Leonard's superior speed and boxing skill still allowed him to control the fight. Hagler looked stiff and mechanical and was doing a lot of missing. And that's what Leonard had seen in that fight against the Beast, Mugabe, that made him fight Hagler, okay? Now, by the 5th round, Leonard was beginning to tire because he had been moving a lot. And Hagler started to find that range on him. And he buckled Leonard in that round with a right uppercut near the end of it, okay? And the round finished, he had Leonard on the ropes at the end of the round. See something? Okay, life's looking great for a Friday. BN Boxing News in the building. What's up, BN Boxing News? Sugar Ray Leonard profile. We're up to the Marvin Hagler fight. Okay. But salute to BN Boxing News. He's a Devin Haney fan, but I ain't gonna hold that against him. Still a good brother. Cash Sports Saluter, JBT member. So salute BN Boxing News. Okay. We were at the Hagler fight. I think we're at like the 6th round. Yeah, Leonard had started to slow down, and Hagler was starting to find the range. And he buckled Leonard at the end of that 6th round, and it ended with Leonard on the ropes. Okay. Yeah. And then the next round, Hagler started continue to score effectively. Okay. Because Leonard had slowed down a lot by that point. And he was starting to have to fight more and move less. However, Leonard was a lot faster than Hagler. I told you he was the Flurry's king, and he was able to outpunch Hagler. And at that point, that was when Leonard had started to try to steal rounds at the end. Because after the fight, he said he had told Angelo Dundee to holler to him when it was 30 seconds left. And he was successful in stealing a lot of rounds at the end of it. Wasn't it right? Wasn't it, Jay? Yeah, Jay's still here. Yeah, Leonard started to steal rounds. Okay. And Leonard was getting the better of the exchanges because of his hand speed. And Hagler, this entire fight, Hagler never seized control like he did against Hearns. Okay. When he brutalized him, got that 3rd round knockout. And his punches lacked snap. And although he was scoring solidly to the body, he looked nothing like the powerful fighter who had dominated the middleweight division for the past 5 years. And remember, Sugar Ray had saw that in the Mugabe fight, and that's why he came back to fight Hagler, and he was right. He saw what he had thought he had saw. Hagler looked nothing like the fighter he had been throughout the early and middle 80s. Right? like I was saying, his observations from the fight against the Beast was spot on. In 7 and 8, Hagler's jab was still landing solidly though, and Leonard was starting to counter less frequently. Round 9 was the best round of the fight. Hagler hurt Leonard early with a left cross and pinned him in a corner. And he looked like he had Leonard in big trouble. But Leonard went in one of those flurries and fought his way out of the court. I remember that point. Leonard fought his way out of that, man. Remember that, Jay? Hagler had him pinned in the 9th, and everybody was like, oh, he got Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray fought his way out of there. I remember that, yeah. So he fought his way out of it. But Hagler was starting to have moments now because Sugar Ray was getting tired. And one of Hagler's cornermen, Roger Perone, in an interview after the fight, he said the 9th round was probably Hagler's best round of the fight, which it was. Now, round 10, the action slowed down, okay? Slowed down a lot. They both were starting to tire. But Hagler still had the better moments, okay? Hagler was starting to slowly take over. But despite Leonard's obvious fatigue, he still was boxing well, okay, in the 11th. Every time Hagler scored, Leonard came back with one of those flurries, and Leonard was in there counting punches, like Floyd used to do. Yeah, by that point, Leonard was counting, okay. He knew he was well within, had a good chance of winning this fight. He was counting punches, and he was stealing rounds at the end of it. Every time Hagler scored, Leonard would come right back with eye-catching flurries, okay? But, you know, Hagler was having the more effective moments. Okay. Now, between round 11 and round 12, Angelo Dundee told Sugar Ray, get up off the stool. We got 3 minutes to a new champion. New champion. And Leonard yelled, yeah. The Hagler's corner was more subdued. Okay. And in the final round, Hagler continued to chase Leonard around. He hit Leonard with a big left hand, backed him into a corner once again, and Leonard responded with another flurry, fought his way out. You know, he landed a few punches, but it was effective enough to get him out of that corner, and the crowd went into a frenzy. Hagler backed off. Leonard danced away. Hagler was in pursuit. And the fight ended with Hagler and Leonard exchanging along the ropes. At the final bell, even informed ringside security rushed into the ring, applauding and lauding Leonard's effort. Okay? Yep. Leonard threw 629 punches and landed 306, while Hagler threw 792 and landed 291. Okay? Leonard was awarded a very controversial split decision. Dave Moretti still scoring to this day. That was in 1987, 27 years ago. Dave Moretti scored at 115-113 for Leonard. Lou Filippo had it 115-113 for Hagler. And the third judge, who was the third judge? Wait a minute now. Lou Filippo, Dave Moretti. Jose Guerrero had it 118-110 for Leonard. That was just ridiculous. 118-110 was totally ridiculous, man. You know, his judging license should have been taken. But anyway, I told y'all the story many times. Hagler wanted the rematch. Leonard retired again. Hagler waited 14 months for the rematch. And then he gave up and retired. 1 month later, Sugar Ray Leonard came out of retirement. So that's a duck. That's a textbook duck there. Now, Sugar Ray, one of my favorites, but that's the duck. I got to call it like it is, man. The man waited 14 months and then he retired. And Sugar Ray said, the coast is clear, and came back. Yep. Then he came back after Hagler retired. He fought Donnie Lalonde. There's Donnie. And this was in 1988. This was for Lalonde's WBC light heavyweight title. And Leonard won that one. Okay? Leonard made $6 million. Leonard made $10 million. And this was Leonard's first professional fight without Angelo Dundee in his corner. Yeah, then the rounds, Jay. Yeah, he was still, and he stole a lot of rounds too. But the Leonard fight was the first one without Angelo Dundee, because after that last retirement, Angelo just went on and went on and left Sugar Ray. Okay, and he stopped. He ended up stopping Leonard with the left hook. And he vacated the title after the fight. Then he fought Hearns again. Okay? Leonard Hearns too. This was very controversial. A very controversial draw. Like I said, Leonard, this was in 1989. Leonard outboxed Hearns. I mean, Hearns outboxed Leonard both times, but he never got the win because the first time he messed around and got clipped and stopped. And the second time, it was a very controversial draw. And I saw Sugar Ray on Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. Him and Hearns was on there. Shane Mosley was there too. Leonard admitted that Hearns beat him. Told Hearns to his face that he beat him in that fight. Yeah, I heard him say that. But the judges didn't think so, and that's what counts. Okay. Then he fought Roberto Duran again in that third fight. They shouldn't have had this fight because it was terrible. But this was the final Four Kings fight. And remember, Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard fought the first Four Kings fight in 1980, and they fought the final fight of the Four Kings series in 1989. Unanimous decision by Leonard. I believe this was at super middleweight? Yeah. Unanimous decision by Sugar Ray. Then he fought Terry Norris. Beat Terry Norris. And then his final comeback. He was watching a fight between Roberto Duran and Hector Camacho. He was commentating. And okay, old school, appreciate you stopping by. Have a good day. Sugar Ray was commentating, and Camacho got a very controversial decision over Duran. Duran clearly wasn't a fight, and Sugar Ray saw that fight, and that's what made him think he could beat Camacho. So he came out of retirement to fight Camacho. Bad move. He ended up getting stopped for the first time in his career against Camacho. Yep. So he probably should have stayed retired. But finally, he retired for good after that. After that fight. Let's take a look at, he retired for good after the Camacho fight. Let's take a look at his personal life right quick, because we're getting close to divorce. Sugar Leonard's personal life. Okay? He married his high school sweetheart. Him and Juanita did get married in January 1980. And the son was 6 years old at that time. He was the ring bearer. In 1984, they had another son. Now, they got divorced in 1990, okay? During divorce proceedings, Juanita Leonard testified that Sugar Ray physically abused her while under the influence of alcohol, and she said he was an occasional cocaine user. And in his testimony, Sugar Ray confirmed his wife's claims. And he went on to reveal the problems of their marriage were not due to drug abuse and alcohol. Okay? He said he started using medication after he retired in 1982 following surgery to repair that detached retina. Okay? And after he was off the medication, he wanted more. So he turned to cocaine. That happens a lot. It happens to football players. You know, during the game, they give them that stuff to take the pain away and everything. And then after the game, they can't get it. So they go to the illegal stuff. Yeah. But that's what Sugar Ray said he went to with his first wife. Then in 1989, he was introduced to Bernadette Roby. That's Bernadette and Sugar Ray there. At a Kenny G by Kenny G at a Luther and Vandross contract. She's the daughter of Paul Roby, one of the original Platters, singing group from the 60s. Okay, the Platters. And she is the ex-wife of Lynn Swann, the football player. And they were married at Leonard's $8.7 million estate in Pacific Palisades, California, in August 1993. Now, at the wedding ceremony, the grounds were converted into a garden with 10,000 roses and blossoms of other flowers flown in from the Netherlands. And they have a daughter by the name of Camille. Sugar Ray is also the godfather of Khloe Kardashian, and he has appeared on many episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Never seen one episode of that. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, yeah. That's a waste of TV time. Now, Leonard testified before the Senate Committee on Homeland Security and Government Affairs in 2009. It was about diabetes research and real hope for a cure. Leonard testified about the burden of diabetes and the need for continued research funding to find a cure. Leonard and his wife Bernadette founded the Sugar Ray Leonard Foundation to support the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation and its annual Walk for a Cure. In 2009, the foundation expanded to support programs that help people rebuild their communities in 10 cities across the United States. In 2007, Sugar Ray Leonard was awarded the Ambassador Award of Excellence by the LA Sports and Entertainment Commission at the Riviera Country Club for his continued community involvement. And Sugar Ray is a motivational speaker also. In his autobiography, The Big Fight, My Life In and Out of the Ring, published in June 2011, Leonard reveals that as a young boxer, he was a victim of sexual abuse from an Olympic trainer as well as another man. He has since made public appearances to bring attention to the issue of child sex abuse, declaring himself a poster child for the cause and encouraging victims to report their abuse. And there you have it, the life and career of Sugar Ray Leonard. Next week is Salvador Sanchez. That's the request by Trump. Okay, the Cast Sports supporter. Anybody else have any profiles they would like to see me do? Please let me know. Okay, and Salvador Sanchez is amazing because he's this legendary boxer, had a legendary career. And his career ended when he was 23 years old, remember? And he started off as arguably the best featherweight ever. So if he got nowhere near his prime, if he'd have went up into his prime and everything, it would be no argument. He would be the best featherweight ever. Willie Peppers also thought of the best featherweight ever. He wouldn't even be in the argument. Isn't that amazing? This man's career, he had a car accident and was killed at 23 years old. And as legendary as he's thought of, that's as far as he went in his career. Of course, he started at 16, but that is amazing. He's an International Boxing Hall of Famer. And the man only fought till 23 years old. And he's the profile next week, Salvador Sanchez, by request of Trump. But I appreciate everybody for rocking with me today. Just Do Boxing is next. Still early in the JBT day, okay? I'm just the second act. We got Just Do Boxing. And not just the hangout tonight, it's the Friday night hangout, okay? That's the special. BYOB, or BYO whatever, BYOW, BYO whatever, okay? Find out what's in them pots today. I think we having pork chops. Or did we have them yesterday? Oh, we had pork chops yesterday. But yeah, the Friday night hangouts tonight, and then the Mighty Rise podcast at 9. Me, I'll be back Monday, okay, with another big week of boxing history. Cast Sports, the Box Storian. But you know, if it's Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., it's the Box Storian. That's me, your friendly neighborhood box storian. Appreciate everybody. We're going to be going out of here in a little while. Another Cast Sports. Get ready to go into the history books. The Voice. I know he got something good cooked up over there. No, he don't cook. He builds. The Voice builds. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Ryan Garcia said he didn't do it. So, anything else happened today? And tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo. A lot going on in boxing, man. We got the Ryan Garcia testing dirty situation. Canelo back in the ring tomorrow. We got the Face of Boxing next month. May. Let me see, May, June. Yeah, June follows May. I had to figure it out on my fingers here. Face of boxing next month in the ring. Man, we got that big August 3rd card. As boxing fans, we are living large. And so this weekend, I'm going to be working on another big week of history for you. But The Voice is on tomorrow, and we got the Crow Show Sunday. Rise Podcast, 12 p.m. Sunday. So a lot of JBT still coming this weekend. That's not me, but I'll be back Monday for sure. I'll be back in a couple hours Monday, because it'll be Monday in a couple hours the way this time going by. But anyway, who was in the building today? Let's do the roll call. BN Boxing News, fire channel over there. Get over there and subscribe and turn your notifications on. Hit the bell icon and hit all, because you want all of this fire content. You know, we're going to be in Boxing News, going to get in this lineup as soon as you get ready. You're going to have a set time eventually. Okay? Mark my words. Let's Talk Fashion was in the building. Remo. Another fire Let's Talk Fashion out there. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Miss that, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Just Do Boxing, The Voice, coming up in about 5 minutes, matter of fact. Okay, I'm going on over. Told you I'm going to take you right up to his doorstep, and then we're going on in there. Flawless Mentality and Black Excellence, hosted by Dr. Mark, was back in the building today. Salute Flawless Mentality. Great brother there. Always great to see Flawless Mentality in here. Mike Grimm was in the building. Salute to Mike Grimm. Caught any big fish lately, Mike? I saw that one J Hardcore had on the thing the other day. Thing was huge. Al Booger was in the building today. Salute Al Booger. Joy Fink 757. Hashtag JBT. Part of that great technological analytical team that JBT had. Benny Burton. This was Benny's first time, but I hope it ain't his last time. I hope he stuck around and enjoyed the show. Lonnie Lee, hashtag JBT, was in the building. JBT member, big time Cast Sports supporter. Stay Hardcore, hashtag JBT, the founder of the JBT, the proprietor of the Hangout. Friday night Hangout tonight. Trump was in the building. Trump gave me the Salvador Sanchez profile idea, which is coming up next Friday. Ray Patterson, straight out of New Jersey. Salute Ray Patterson. Old School, William Old School Rant was in here. Old School, keep the chat rocking. Mike Masick, always in the building. Salute Mike Masick. Rachel Donaire was in here today. Cass Sport is getting big time, man. Rachel Donaire. Salute Rachel Donaire. Tim Layton, hashtag JBT, was in the building. Walker Encyclopedia of Boxing Knowledge, Tim Layton. Melanin Queen 27. One of the queens of the JBT, big time supporter. And Miss Cass, hashtag JBT, the executive vice president of Cass Sports and the brain behind the operation. Another one of the JBT queens. And I salute everybody. Appreciate you for rocking with me once again. And remember, it's early in the JBT day. So don't go anywhere yet, because Just Do is coming up. Go get your refreshments and stuff in between Just Do and the Hangout, okay? You don't want to miss none of this fire stuff we putting down over here. Definitely doing yourself a disservice. But another Cat Sports is going in the history books right now. I'll be back Monday. Everybody have a great day. But you'll see me again in Just Do the Hangout Rise podcast. But everybody have a great day and a great weekend. Cat Sports, y'all. I'm out.